Bienvenidos and welcome back, familia and fans of The Chosen. Today we are taking a look at a story behind the music of The Chosen. The music in a TV show or a movie can make or break the overall tone of a film or a TV show, adding another layer of storytelling. And I'm excited to see a little bit behind the scenes, so let's get right into it.
You spent 3 or 4 hours creating that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
3 hours? 3 hours creating what?
Here outside Kappa Studios, and today we're going to talk about the musical score in The Chosen. Chris is going to talk with Matt Nelson, one of the composers, about the music, and then I'm going to talk with John Quinn when it comes to the editing process with the music.
Most films and television shows, they always have temp music. Temp music stands for temporary music, so everybody kind of gets on the same page for tone, rhythm, that sort of thing.
That's really interesting because when you're making a video, even on YouTube, one of the most difficult things and probably the thing that you'll spend the most on is finding the right music.
Dallas does not like temp score. He does not want to hear any music. He just watches it totally dry. And it's really unique, and it's actually really cool. I wonder if he hears the music like in his head.
Oh, that's interesting.
Where music will start and stop. We'll cut in music just because that's part of our process. And then when we hand the cut over to Dallas to review, we take the music out.
What does that process look like to take the scenes and create music to it?
We do what's called spotting the picture, which is we watch the episode down and we decide where in the episode music needs to go. What are the parts in the episode where we need to feel like we've got momentum that's moving into a new scene? Score is short for underscore. What do we want to underscore?
That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know that score was short for underscore.
You play an instrument yourself, right?
I do. I play a few instruments, but my 2 main instruments are guitar and cello. Most of the plucky acoustic instruments,
Cool.
if you hear any of those, mandolin or cello or guitar. Or,
The cello and mandolin are probably my favorite.
Those are all being generated by my
That's awesome.
Okay, and then you have some other musicians that take care of the rest of the...
yeah, Dan actually plays a good amount of the percussion.
Okay.
So I see that Dan plays the forbidden fruit.
Okay.
I know all the tricks.
There's a cue in episode 4 of this season,
Of season
where Jonathan Rumi, Jesus himself, is playing some shakers on one of the...
That's really
I've
cool.
always known Jesus was musical.
I know.
For sure.
It's funny, the first thing I thought was The Chosen, the musical. I'm glad this isn't a musical.
Can you tell me a little bit of the story of how you created Trouble?
So we had a couple of different songs that we were looking at using in that sequence at the end of episode 8 in season 1. Outside songs by a couple of other artists, and there was one song that we were planning to get, and what happens and this is where the business stuff comes into it, because we don't own it and we haven't written it, we have to license the song to be able to use it.
Yeah, because music is intellectual property, you have to get a license to be able to use it. So every time you watch a movie and they play a popular song, chances are they paid a pretty penny for that song, even if it were just a short little piece.
The artist was into it, the artist manager was into us using the song, but the license didn't come through in time, and we all kind of looked at each other and said, well, I guess we're gonna have to come up with something else. So literally, Dan and I walked to the studio down the street, and we spent about 3 or 4 hours and wrote and recorded.
No way.
Trouble.
What you hear at the end of
You spent
season
3 or 4
1.
hours creating that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Creating a song like that in 3 or 4 hours is pretty crazy.
Dan Hasseltine, if anybody's listened to Jars of Clay, is a really brilliant lyricist and songwriter.
We haven't done a Jars of Clay reaction, have we? Well, that's gonna change.
And so all of those lyrics really, and the imagery all sort of came from Dan.
So Dan kind of wrote the majority of the lyrics, and man, how catchy was that? It's a good thing that the other music didn't really come through, because that was a huge fan favorite.
That's a God thing, right? Instead of spending money on a track that's already created, they created a track for it, and they can use it as many times as they want.
And you guys have written the entire song now, right?
It's nearly done, and it's in process.
Well, Matt, it's been great chatting. Thanks for sharing about what you do. We love the music of The Chosen, and so we're so excited to get to meet you.
Yes, absolutely. The music in The Chosen definitely balances out the story that is being told visually. So this is how important music is in a film or series. Let's take 3 music tracks and let's add it to this epic Jesus posse walking down this road. Here's the first track. If you're watching this live, let me know in the live chat, what feeling did that convey? Here's song number 2. What feeling did that convey? It's pretty different, right? All right, so now here's track number 3. So as you can see, just a simple little scene like that can have a whole different emotion based on the music that you add to it. I could almost bet that each song kind of gave you a feel that they were headed to a different type of location, or that they were coming out of a situation. Familia, thank you so much for your continued love and support. Please remember to continue to spread the love that comes from above, and I'll see you on our next adventure. Peace!